In today's video, we are going to go over the creation of a basic time card. We're assuming right off the bat that you have not yet created a time card for your specific job. Once you have your job selected, which you can see in the top that we have 13-Earth, go ahead and click on the time card applet on the main menu. When you click on that, that will open up either today's date or a preset date that you have selected. We've gone ahead and selected the 18th. I'm going to go ahead and show you now how to enter in cost codes and add crew. So if you're following along, go ahead and click on Tap to Add Cost Codes at the very top. This will open up your cost code selection screen with your cost codes on the left. Any cost code that you select will then be moved to the right, which will be an indicator showing you what cost codes will be added to your time card. I'm going to go ahead and select 2 different cost codes and then hit Done in the top right hand corner. When I hit Done, they've been added to my time card. Now I'm going to go in and add my crew, which you can see to the left under Tap to Add Crew. That opens up the Edit Crew screen where you have your employees and your equipment and your source job and source library. First thing I want to note before adding a piece of equipment or an employee is that source job. If you click on that, that gives you access to the library as well. One of the key features that we did with the library is that it will filter any employee that already exists at the job level. The reason we did that is because we don't want you to have to search through hundreds of employees just to find the one you're looking for, especially when those employees already exist in your job list. So I'm going to click off screen and close my source job. I'm going to leave it as job source. And I'm going to select Aaron and Benjamin. As you can see, they're to the right hand corner. And one key thing you'll notice is you'll see on the right hand corner 3 bars. That allows you to drag and move your employees. So if you don't like the way they're arranged, you can rearrange them in any way that you see fit based on your personal needs. Now that I've added my employees, I can go ahead and hit the equipment button at the top, which will highlight the equipment and change it over to the equipment list. Key difference to note here is that you'll see the link and unlinked button. A linked button links that piece of equipment to a selected employee. So when I hit the link button, it's going to bring up the link to screen, which shows a list of my employees that have already been added to my time card. I'm going to select Aaron Todd and link my piece of equipment to Aaron Todd. You'll notice that it's now in yellow. Other cool feature to note, if you attempt to rearrange based on the employee, the piece of equipment is going to follow along. Adding a piece of equipment unlinked is for, let's say the piece of equipment is on site, you need to note it, however, nobody's using it for today. So it's a good way to keep track of it, or if you've got multiple people using it but nobody's actually assigned to that piece of equipment, that's a good way to keep track of it as well. It also shows up in bright orange. Once you're done, hit the Done button in the top right hand corner. So now we have our cost codes, our employees, and our equipment. To add hours, all you have to do is select one of the boxes underneath the cost code. That will open up the hours screen to the right, which allows you to enter in basic hours, overtime hours, double overtime hours, or you can even put in attendance non-use codes. So for Taylor, we're going to put in 4 hours. And you'll see that the 4 shows up right there on the highlighted box, and all I have to do is hit Done at the lower right hand corner to enter those 4 hours. For Todd, we're going to enter in 4 hours along with 4 hours for the equipment. As you notice, I selected both boxes. You can do that. You can select multiple boxes at once that quickly allow you to enter in the same number for multiple fields. And we're going to go ahead and put 4 again and hit Done. So now we have 4 hours for Taylor, 4 hours for Todd, or Aaron Todd, and 4 hours for our Caterpillar. To the right, you'll see that the 4 hours have been added for totals, and then at this stage, you may want to go ahead and enter in cost code quantities if you have them. So to do that, select the cost code at the top, and it will open up the cost code detail screen. This gives you a couple of options. You'll see that you have T&M, which you can check off if you have T&M work or time and material work, rework time, or notes and estimate info. So before we enter in our production quantities, let's go to the estimate info. This gives you any kind of information you may need to better understand what the estimator was thinking when he created the cost code. Very good area. It gives you an insight into what he was thinking, why he chose this. Very good, useful piece of information if you need it. The notes section allows you to enter in any private and public notes depending on what was going on with that particular cost code. Let's say you needed to let your internal people know about something, but you don't want to let that be publicly seen. This is where you can do that. You can also use the note indexes section to add a filter option for the management system, allowing them to filter, oh, you know, I need to look at anybody who has a note index a problem. It gives them the ability to search based on the note index problem. So it's a nice little search filter. But going back to our production quantities, I'm going to go ahead and enter in 12. As you can see, our budgeted quantity is lower than our to-date quantity, showing that we do have, I guess you would say, an overage. So I'm going to hit done, and the first thing you'll notice is that it turns red. That's to let you know that your to-date quantity or your entered quantity is above what your budgeted quantity is. So it's letting you know you're at a loss on this cost code. And it's a great indicator to show you whether or not you may have entered in too much. And it's just a nice visual to keep you or keep your attention on what's going on with that cost code. I'm going to go to my second cost code now and enter in, let's say, 1. When I hit done, you're going to see that it shows up as red as well. Again, this is letting you know that you're in the negative on the quantities for these cost codes. Now that I am done with my basic time card, I can go ahead and hit the send button in the top right hand corner and send my time card. At this point, you are finished making a basic time card. In our next videos, we're going to go over the more detailed sections, going over attendance non-use codes in detail, things like that. So if you're interested in any of those, check out our other videos.